Welcome, everybody. My name is Joe Connolly. I'm the Director of the Partnership for Worker Education. Welcome to our furlough information sessions. The focus today is on people with a 2-week furlough. If you don't know what the Partnership for Worker Education is, our program is a partnership between the university, USA, MTA, PSU, and AFSCME. We provide computer courses, English courses. We oversee the Building Bridges project. We create Career Ladder program all across campus. We have a lot of services on campus and off campus as well. In any given year, we have well over 100 different courses available to employees. This is a tough time for everybody, particularly for employees on extended furlough. But it's tough for us too, those of us who are on 2-week furlough. We're trying to make the best of it. We have a great panel today of experts with a lot of expertise. They include Carol Snyder and Megan Williams from the Rapid Response, Western Mass Rapid Response, John Drinkwater, also from Rapid Response, and also from the Mass AFL-CIO. We have Jeff Napolitano from our program working in the background doing all technical support. Much appreciated. Last week, our focus was on extended furloughs. This week, it's on 2-week furloughs, and we'll probably be having some upcoming sessions on those employees participating in WorkShare. I want to point to the screen in front of you. If you look at the bottom right, that's our website address. We have a lot of information that's coming onto that website regarding furlough, including recordings of these sessions, frequently asked questions, translations, guides. Last June, we had about 1,400 people come onto our webinars, and we had 9,000 hits on our website. So the websites are pretty heavily used. However, the panel today is really empowered to help navigate you through the unemployment system. They can answer any question that you might field regarding that. If you have questions that are specific to UMass, to your own particular situation, you want to go to the address that's highlighted in yellow. It's the COVID-19HR@umass.edu address. There's a team of people from HR who are fielding those questions. If you pose a question, they will get back to you. Without further ado, let's have John Drinkwater open the session up. To you, John.
Thanks, Joe. And I'm with the Massachusetts AFL-CIO, statewide labor federation that works with unions throughout the state, including the unions on the UMass campus, and the partnership on a number of different issues. But we are also a part of the state rapid response team, and you will be hearing from other members of the team in a couple of minutes. But we exist in this partnership to make sure we're connecting unions with the rapid response team in situations like this furlough, whether it's short-term or extended, to make sure you're getting access to all of the information and the resources that are available out there for you. So in this particular case, we act as a liaison, but there's been a great working relationship for a long time now between the state rapid response team and the UMass and the various unions on campus. But we continue to be here as a resource as the AFL-CIO. If there's any kind of follow-up needed, if any issues come up over the course of the next couple of weeks or anything like that, we're here. The unions know how to reach us. We're in constant contact with the rest of the rapid response team. So just wanted to make this introduction by way of saying that the AFL-CIO, both myself and my colleague Bob Bauer are here as a resource for anything that you may need. So with that, thank you, Joe, for allowing me to make that quick introduction, and we'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks very much, John. To you, Carol.
Good afternoon,
Welcome.
everyone. And I want to say thank you so much for inviting us and having us assist you and the employees of UMass Just want to make it clear that the Rapid Response Team, we partner with the Department of Unemployment Assistance. We have access to their program, but we actually work for the Department of Career Services. So we're a partner with them, but we're very knowledgeable and we're here to help. And it's myself and Meg Williams today, and I'm going to turn it over to Meg for the presentation.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, everyone. Welcome this afternoon to our furlough and unemployment information session. Bear with me while I get this PowerPoint up and running. There we are.
And Meg, I'll add that the questions and answers we're going to hold till the end. So if you could just go to the bottom of your screen, hit question and answer, write your question in, and we'll be answering those at the end.
Okay. Thanks, Carol. Great reminder. So today we're going to cover several different things. First of all, when and how to file an unemployment claim, how to open a new unemployment claim, and how to reopen a claim, because we understand some of you may have been furloughed recently. And then the requirements for unemployment, what is required while you are receiving benefits. Just to give you an overview as to what and who Rapid Response is, we are a division, again, of MassHire Department of Career Services. And we are a federally mandated program through the Workforce Innovation Opportunities Act, which is WIOA, so you may hear that periodically. And we're designed to assist businesses and employees experiencing a layoff, a furlough, or a closing. And once again, we are partnered with the Department of Career Services, and we work closely with the MassHire Career Centers in the areas. This is a screen of our contact information. We are a statewide entity, so to speak, but you can see here on the bottom right, Carol, Lewis, and myself. Lewis is our coworker who unfortunately is not able to be here today, but you can reach out to any of us and we are more than happy to assist you. If you are reaching out to us, we do ask that you use Help UMass in the subject line, just so that we can better understand and correlate your question with your circumstances. We can hopefully get you a quicker answer that way. Oops, got a little happy with the clicker. Okay, so the biggest question I'm sure you all have is regarding opening an unemployment claim. There's a couple different ways to do that. First, the most convenient way is online at www.mass.gov/DUA. Or if you prefer, you can certainly choose to do so over the phone via their teleclaim center. And that phone number is 877-626-6800. Now, if you utilize the phone, there's a couple of restrictions. Just want to make sure that you are aware they are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you choose to do it online, you can do that any day, Sunday through Saturday. Now, also, if you're using the phone, you have an assigned day based on the last digit of your Social Security number. If you see this chart, you'll notice, for example, if your last digit is a 7, you can call in on a Thursday, or any digit can call in on a Friday. So if you happen to forget on Thursday and you want to get it in, you can call on Friday. Something to keep in mind when utilizing the phone to open a claim. Now, some basic information that you'll need when opening a claim. Very important to keep in mind and have this handy. You want to make sure that you have your Social Security number, or if you have an alien registration number, your personal email address. And I want to emphasize personal, because if you are on furlough, you may not have access to your UMass email. And if unemployment is looking to contact you with any questionnaires or they need information, a lot of the times it's time sensitive. And if you choose to receive your communication from them electronically, you will receive a notification in your email that you have something in your inbox. So you want to make sure that you utilize your personal email address for this. And that way you can answer everything timely. You'll also want to make sure you have your employment start and end dates. And when you are entering your reason for separation, furlough is not an option, unfortunately, in unemployment terms. So you're going to be selecting layoff, which is defined by a lack of work. And that's going to be your only reason for separation at this time. Okay, just as a reminder, furlough is not an option, but you will want to use the words layoff. Now, if you choose direct deposit to receive your benefits, you want to make sure that you have your banking information, such as your routing and account information. And if you have any dependents that you want to claim on your unemployment claim, you want to make sure that you have your Social Security number and date of birth for them. And I'll get into that a little bit more in detail shortly. Now, one other thing that is key is the Federal Employer Identification Number. And make sure you have that. Makes life a lot easier for you and for unemployment. It can be found on your W-2 form. And if you don't have that handy, hang tight. We will make sure you have that at the end of the presentation. But I also understand UMass is posting that on their website for you. Now, I want to go back to the employment start and end dates real quick and just remind everyone, this is employment for the last 15 months. Any employment, any and all employment. So if you have one employer and just UMass, that's great. If you have UMass as well as an additional part-time job or vice versa, you want to make sure that you include that as well because it will affect your benefit rates. And the same way you would add UMass, you would add the second employer. Okay. Now, once you've initiated the claim, you will be asked if you are out of work because of COVID-19. You want to make sure that you do answer this yes, just because of the COVID policies and COVID regulations. And as a reminder with unemployment, when opening a claim or reopening a claim, which I'll get into in a second, you must be in unemployment to file an unemployment claim. Meaning, you might be getting laid off on the 23rd is your last day, and your furlough starts on the 25th or 26th. You cannot open it ahead of time. You have to wait till the 25th or 26th, your beginning of your furlough week. And you must be in unemployment to open that claim. So you want to be in your furlough week when you open the claim. Now, some of you may need to reopen a claim, and some of you are looking at me going, what is that? You may have to reopen a claim if you had a previous claim, say back in June or July when the previous furloughs hit, or if you have one within the last 52 weeks. An unemployment claim has a shelf life of 52 weeks. So that would be valid for 1 full year. You must reopen that claim if you went back to work full time, if you took a break in collecting your benefits, or you earned too much money part-time work. And what you're going to do to reopen your claim is log into your unemployment online account or call the Department of Unemployment Assistance at the 866-626-6800. Let them know that you want to reopen a claim. If you log in online, you'll see here, defined by that red arrow, you'll see your homepage. To the left-hand sidebar, there will be a option to reopen your claim. You're going to click that, and you're going to be redirected to your contact information. From there, you're going to update that, make sure that all of that is correct, including your payment methods, make sure everything is accurate and current. And then you're going to move forward and you're going to answer the claimant questions and enter your employment details. Again, any employment details, including UMass, if it was a return to work, it's going to be your return to work date that you returned after your furlough in June or July. And then your end date as well. Once you finish all your employment details, you're going to select a reopen date and submit your request. I want to go back. I mentioned when to open a claim. So for example, using different dates than I used earlier, if your last day of work is tomorrow and your furlough is next week, you're going to open your unemployment claim starting the 18th through the 23rd. You can do that any day, Sunday through Friday. Do that online. You can do it over the weekend. If you're calling in, it must be Monday through Friday. Then, once you open your claim, you're going to have to start requesting benefits. You're going to request benefits the following week, starting on the 25th. And I'll get more into what exactly you'll be doing when you're requesting benefits. But when you request benefits, it's always for the week prior. So you have to pay attention to those dates. And so you're going to open your claim on the 18th, request benefits on the 25th for that previous week. Now, just to kind of briefly go over how your unemployment benefits are determined. Once again, the benefit year, your unemployment claim has a life of 52 weeks. Meaning, if you open it now and you don't use all of it and you need to come back to it within 6 months or so, that is there for you. Your benefit rate is calculated using the last 4 completed quarters, and it's based on your 2 highest quarters averaged together, and you receive about 50% of that weekly. The maximum numbers a week a full-time claimant can receive is up to 26 weeks. Part-time is based on your gross earnings. And just to let everyone know, as of October 4th this year, they have increased the maximum benefit rate up to $8.55 per week. So that is the maximum benefit rate available currently. And as a note, if this is something that is a necessity, eligible individuals who may have exhausted their claim before December 31st of 2020 may receive an additional 13 weeks of unemployment, and this is due to the CARES Act. But that is due to expire currently on December 31st of 2020. We haven't heard much more past that yet, so stay tuned. And earlier I mentioned dependents. The reason I did was because there are dependency benefits available. If you if you provide more than 50% of the child's support, this benefit is offered to one parent or guardian of each child or household. Okay. You could be eligible for dependency allowance of $25 per child, again, per household. And just want to remind everyone, especially during this current COVID situation, we know that spouses and significant others may also be laid off. You have to remember only one parent or guardian per household can claim that child. Okay. Now, in order to be eligible, the children must be either under the age of 18, under the age of 24 and attending school, or on any age but unable to earn wages due to a mental or physical incapacity. And with unemployment, as with all income, it is taxable. So you are required to pay federal and state taxes at some point. You can choose to have it come out right away, and you can do it individually, federal or state, or you can do a combination thereof. If you choose to wait, you will have to take care of that at the end of the year when you file your taxes. And you will receive what they call a 1099-G form so that you can file your taxes. Now, when receiving unemployment benefits, it does take up to about 4 weeks or so to process an unemployment claim with the Department of Unemployment. Typically, your first week of unemployment was considered a waiting period where you didn't receive benefits. However, that has currently been waived, so you will receive those. All payments will be paid to you directly, either by direct deposit or through a debit card, which is a Bank of America debit card. And I like to stress, if you don't have a Bank of America account and you utilize, let's say East Hampton Savings Bank, and you use their ATM, it may cause, you may have to pay the same fees for an ATM. So just want to make sure you're aware of that. Now, if you choose direct deposit, want to also make and stress that the bank does require a minimum of 10 to 14 business days to approve the initial deposit. So when you're opening your claim, you want to make sure that you get your banking account information in there right away, so that while you're waiting for your claim to process, the bank is also being processed. And keep in mind, any changes that you make along the way, say you open your claim, you get everything in there, and then you realize that you put in the wrong account number or the wrong routing number, and you go in and change it 5 days later, it's going to delay the processing of that claim even longer. So you want to make sure that you understand the 10 to 14 days is just a minimum of what the average process takes for the bank. I mentioned requesting benefits earlier. So there's a few different ways that you can do that. To request weekly benefits, you can very easy and quickly go on your unemployment claim online, so your UI online account, and click the same link on the left-hand side that says request benefits. Or you can certainly call the Massachusetts Department of Unemployment Assistance Telecert line, which is 617-626-6338. Now that is available every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay. If you choose to use the Telecert line, you must first create a PIN number, which would be created by calling the PIN selection line at 617-626-6943. Okay, and once again, when answering the questions, you want to remember that you're answering the questions for the prior week. And there will be dates available to you, so you want to make sure that you have a calendar handy and can visualize what you did that week. And requesting benefits is required every week while you are in unemployment, so you want to make sure that you keep that in mind. Now, a list of the Telecert questions kind of give you an overview of what to expect. Once again, you'll be asked to provide your responses for the week of, and it will provide a Sunday through Saturday date. So number 1, did you work and earn wages during the reported period listed above? And this includes any employment, full-time, part-time, temporary, self, military, 1099, anything of that sort. You want to make sure that you are reporting your wages. During the week listed above, were you offered employment? And that's, that's basically saying, were you offered either A, to return to work, or were you offered new employment? Now you want to make sure that you are in employment, meaning that you are back to work before you answer yes to that, because you are talking to a computer system, okay? So the computer system, if you say yes, but you're not reporting back to work until January 1st, and you say yes in November, that will cut you off. So you want to make sure that you are back to work before you say yes. During the week listed above, did you quit or were you discharged from a job? That applies to any other job that you might be working, because you've already informed them about UMass. So if you have a part-time job, another temporary job, something else, and you decide to quit the job or you were discharged, that's where you would put that information. Now, during the week listed above, did you receive or apply for income from any other sources that you have not previously reported? This means, did you receive any workman's comp, anything that you've not reported to them? If you win the lottery, that does not apply, fortunately. But if you're looking for any employment-related income. Okay. like the workman's comp and such. Now the last question is actually probably in my mind the most important question. They're asking, were you able to work? Were you available to work? And did you look for work? That being said, in order to receive unemployment benefits, you must be physically able to work, must be available to work, and you must be looking for work. Now, some of you may have a part-time position and you're saying, can I still work that while on furlough? Absolutely. If you have a part-time position, you may still be eligible for benefits. You must report those wages and earnings when you request your benefits. But if you work part-time, you can receive 1/3 of your benefit rate without it affecting your unemployment benefits. So when you receive your benefit rate in the mail, you'll also, on that same letter, you'll see an earnings disregard. That is your 1/3 that you are able to make without it touching your benefits. If by chance you exceed that, after that 1/3, it's dollar for dollar. So for example, if your unemployment benefits are $300 a week and you're working a part-time job and earn $100 per week, you're fine. There's no issue there. They won't change your benefits. If that part-time position, you make $120 a week, it's deducted dollar for dollar. So your benefit rate that week would be $280. However, that would then in turn stay in your unemployment bank and be there at the end as a little extra money in case you needed the 27th week or something of that nature. Now, just to want to get into an option if you do need assistance with unemployment, to file or reopen a claim, or if you need language assistance, you could certainly call the Department of Unemployment, their teleclaim center, again at the 877-626-6800, or the Mass Hire Franklin Hampshire Career Center, which is located in Greenfield, has also offered their assistance. And they have an unemployment person, staff person there that can certainly assist. And you can give them a call at 413-774-4361, or you can check out their website at www.masshirefhcareers.org. And just to briefly go over some of the things that the career centers do have to offer, and some things that you may receive information on through unemployment. There's actually a couple different programs that are required by unemployment or may be required by unemployment, which one is the Career Center Seminar. That goes over all the good stuff that the Career Center has to offer, such as the job search assistance, the veteran services, career counseling, networking opportunities, job fairs, workshops, you name it. They go over it in great detail. The other thing that you may be required or requested to do is attend a reemployment services and eligibility assessment. That's a RECIA program, and that is something that you may receive a letter from unemployment requesting that you attend. Now, just as a note on those two things, if you have a prior claim and had received a request to attend those previously, and that's the claim, and you did not follow through on that because you returned to work or whatnot, at this time you will need to follow up on that and take care of that and visit the Career Center. Everything is virtual at this time, so it makes it much easier. And just a listing of the local career centers for your reference. And there are 30 career centers throughout the state. So if one of these doesn't apply, you can certainly go to mass.gov and type in Mass Hire Career Centers and get a listing of all the career centers throughout the state. Okay. Carol, I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Thanks, Meg. I'm just going to go over some frequently asked questions. Why Meg? You took them down, Meg.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I'm having difficulty.
Okay.
There.
There we go. So we promised that we would have UMass's federal ID number up there.
Did it go out again?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Sorry. I can't do two things at once, apparently.
Okay. And UMass's federal identification number is 04-600-2284. And this information will also be on the UMass website. Or again, as Meg mentioned earlier, it's on your W-2 form. That makes applying for unemployment much easier because all the information actually populates when you put that number in for UMass. The next question, what does unemployment mean by start and end date? Well, there are two different definitions. For a new unemployment claim, you are looking for your original start date. When you started the position, whether it be 6 months ago, 5 years ago, or 20 years ago, that would be your start date at UMass. Your end date will be your last working day. For reopening an unemployment claim, you're looking at your most recent return to work date. So if you were furloughed in June, it would be when you went back to work, whether it be June or July. That would be the date that they're looking at as a start date. Your end date is going to be, again, your last working day. So if your last working day is tomorrow, that would be your end date. What should I put for reason for separation? Layoff. There are several options, but the only one you need to know is layoff, and that is what you want to choose. What do I do if I was laid off previously from UMass within the last 52 weeks? Do I need to open or reopen my claim? Yes, you need to reopen your claim. If you have an existing claim, then you're going to reopen it. If you're doing it online, you're going to log into your portal, and on the left-hand side, it will say reopen. If it doesn't, you probably need to open a new claim. So look for open new claim. The next question, can I work part-time or a consulting job and still collect unemployment benefits? As Meg explained earlier, absolutely. You will need to report the earnings on a weekly basis. And again, how that works is the first question states, did you work and earn income? You would say yes to that. Then you're going to put the hours that you worked and the gross income in. And you'll do that every week if you work part-time every week. The last question here is, when requesting weekly benefits, how do I know if I'm able, available, and looking for work? You must be able to work. So you can't be on workers' comp. You would have to be physically able to work, available to work. So if UMass called you and said, can you come back tomorrow? You have to be available for that. And you have to be in touch with UMass or in touch with the union to be available for work. And just being accessible is adequate. All questions regarding specifics with UMass, again, you can contact the Human Resource Department for those inquiries. So we're going to start now, and we're going to go to the question and answers that you folks have actually put on the website, and Meg is going to read those for me.
Okay, if I was unable to file for unemployment for my last week-long furlough, will I be able to add that week if I am able to file for my upcoming 2-week furlough?
If you didn't file in June, it's going to cause all kinds of issues. You can definitely go into an adjudication situation. If you had a claim but never followed through, again, it will probably cause an issue on the claim, but it is possible to do. If you're starting a claim right now and you want to go back to June, you're going to have to do that with the unemployment office. So you're going to want to call a customer service. I have no guarantees, and it's going to be a process. So you're talking minimum of probably 6 to 8 weeks before you will get notification on that, unfortunately. But if you were in the process, you need to go probably back to see what information they required that maybe you didn't get to them. That's the other thing I want to mention is very, very important that if you are getting your correspondence from unemployment through the mail, that you're checking your mail constantly. And if you're getting your correspondence from unemployment on your portal or in your unemployment account, that you're going in there and checking it on a regular basis, because if they need information, that's where it's going to be, and they're all time sensitive. If you miss deadlines, it creates issues, and that's where your 6 to 8 weeks come in. Next question.
I want to ask Nicole for some clarification. Is this question about the 2 positions in regards to your requesting benefits or from your initial UI application? You could just clarify for me on that, and we'll come back to that question. I had a 1-week furlough in June. It took about 8 weeks to get my payment. There was a great deal of confusion on the holdup. I checked to see if my account at unemployment was still active, and it is. It is active until June 30th, 2021. Can you just explain a little bit how that works?
Sure. Your account is, what you need to do at this point is reopen your existing claim. So your benefit year is still good because you have 52 weeks to utilize the claim. So what you'll be doing at this point is you're reopening. So you're either going to go online to your portal and click reopen and answer the series of questions, or you're going to call unemployment and do the same thing, but you're going to reopen. Next question.
I am grant funded 9%, and I have to take the furlough for 91% of my time. I believe this is equivalent to a reduction in hours. Will I be able to apply for unemployment?
Joe, that's a reduction of hours?
I'm not sure if it's a reduction in hours, but you can definitely apply for unemployment. I was in the same situation with roughly 20% on grant, and I applied and I received it in June, and I will apply again this fall.
So if it is a reduction of hours, you're going to want to apply for unemployment. And when you apply for unemployment, you give them all the information. Please use layoff. And then what you want to do, again, is when you are asked the questions, it will say, did you work and earn income? And you will say yes, and you'll put those monies in there each week.
Yeah, and that's how I did it, and it worked.
Thank you, Joe. One of the questions that was asked yesterday was about pension, folks that are collecting a pension. If you are collecting a pension from, let's say, XYZ Corporation, then that should not affect unemployment. You do have to report that you are collecting that. They will ask information about that, but it should not affect unemployment. If you are collecting a pension related to UMass, then it will affect your unemployment, and they have a formula that they use, so I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it will affect your unemployment amount that you receive each week. But again, you need to put that information in the initial claim when you apply. I will add also that if you are collecting Social Security retirement benefits, that unemployment wants to know that information, but it should not affect unemployment. Meg?
This is, I'm going to sum this up. It's from Kelly. Last time she tried to file for unemployment and the information on the W-2 did not match what was in the unemployment system. Meaning I don't believe it came up UMass, it may have come up as something else. She's just worried about successfully navigating and registering this time.
Well, if she opened her claim last time, that should have. She didn't get a resolution?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would call unemployment immediately and I would get that rectified. The first piece of information that you will get from unemployment will be your benefit determination sheet. That will have all your income in the last 4 quarters. It has your employers. If that information is incorrect, there's a number right on there, and you can fill that information out and send it right back to unemployment, and they will rectify that.
Okay. Next question. This is a 2-part question. It would not take my phone number. Should it be a 10-digit without parentheses? And also, what day should I refile? I'm going on furlough November 30th through December 4th and December 7th through December 11th.
So it should take your phone number, starting with like the 413 area code or 508 area code. It should take that information. There's no 1 in front of it, but it is a 10-digit. Meg, what were those dates again? December?
Hang tight. November 30th through December 4th and December 7th through December 11th.
Okay, those are furlough dates. So you will open your unemployment claim using that example on the 27th of November, or I'm sorry, that will be, the 27th of November will be your last working date. So you're going to open your claim between the 29th and the 4th. So if you're doing it online, you can do it as early as Sunday. But if you're calling, you have to call when the call center's open. So that's Monday through Friday. So that's when you're going to open your claim. You will start answering the questions or certifying or requesting benefits on December 6th, which is on a Sunday. You have all week to do it. So you have the 6th through the 11th to request your benefits. You're always requesting benefits for the previous week. We always recommend that folks do it earlier in the week than later in the week, because once you start getting paid, if you request on Sunday, Monday's not a holiday, you usually get paid on Tuesday, but you have all week, you can answer those questions. And then you will also do it the week of the 13th to the 18th and answer the questions for the previous week. And then if you're going back to work, you can just stop requesting benefits. Unemployment assumes that you went back to work when you stop requesting benefits. So if you're only furloughed for those 2 weeks and you're taking those 2 weeks together, those are the dates you need, and that's exactly how to do that. Next question, Meg.
This is something that we're seeing a lot of and lots of questions. This is my last furlough was in June. My claim is still being held up. Will that affect my upcoming claim?
Oh, definitely. Anything that happened up to 52 weeks ago will hold up your claim. So you need to rectify what the situation was back in June. So if they were looking for a specific piece of information or they sent you a questionnaire, you need to fill that out. Again, recommending that you call unemployment and ask them what your next step's going to be, because you cannot reopen your claim without assisting with or taking care of the situation that happened in June.
Okay, the next couple questions are going over the start and end dates again. Can you just verify them for reopening and opening?
Sure. So opening a new claim, if you're opening a brand new claim, let's say next week, you're going to use the very first time you started with UMass. So again, that, if you started with UMass 6 years ago or 20 years ago, that's the date that they're looking for. If you started 6 months ago, that's the date they're looking for. Your end date would be your last working day. With a reopen, they're looking for the last day of your furlough when you reopened. So when you reopened your claim, let's say in June, and you went back to work, let's say July 6th, I'm just picking a day, that would be the date that they're looking for with a reopen. And then again, your end date will be the last day that you physically worked.
Okay. Thank you, Carol. Next question. I get occasional residual checks for work done years ago. I think that will show up, so I will have to put it in. I don't have actual dates. What do I do?
If it's income that you are receiving for work that was done years ago, you, if it's monies that are going to, let's say, show up with the Department of Revenue and you are going to have to claim it on taxes as income, then you want to put it in each week as you go along. Next question, Mike.
What if I've only been working for UMass for 6 months? Can I claim unemployment?
Yes. You still, again, you're going to use all of your employers that you've worked for in the last 15 months when you open your claim. So if you work for UMass 6 months, if you work for XYZ company before that, you're going to use all your employers. If you only worked for UMass in the last 6 months, you would have needed to make more than $5,100 in more than 1 quarter in order to qualify. But I would say, go ahead and file for unemployment. If you don't qualify for unemployment, there is another program that you may qualify for the pandemic unemployment insurance. I also want to state that if you worked in another state, let's say you worked in Vermont, and then you came to UMass the first of the year, that is going to be a combined wage claim. Highly recommend that you do it in Massachusetts because your benefit rate will be much, much higher in Massachusetts. And then they will, when you process the claim, they will ask you what state the company is in. You select the state, you would select Vermont, and you would put both employers in, and then they would go ahead and they're going to process that. But it's a combined wage with more than one state. It's Alaska, it doesn't matter what state, but you want to try to create your claim in Massachusetts because the benefit rates are the highest in the US. Meg?
Okay. I'm doing some work as an independent contractor. I assume that I include this as a second job, correct?
Absolutely. Any type of income, whether it's self-employment or working a temporary job or a part-time job, each week you're going to answer the question, did you work and earn income? And you'll have to put that through. Meg?
My last date working was October 3rd and furlough was October 4th through 10th. Did I miss the chance to reopen my claim?
No, but your wait is going to be long. But I would definitely reopen your claim, put your dates in, and just know that it's going to take a while because now unemployment is saying, why didn't you file? So I would definitely put it in. It may take a while, but I would go ahead and make sure you're checking in with your portal or you're checking your mail for the correspondences from unemployment so that if they're looking for further information, and one of the things they're going to be looking at is why you didn't apply a week ago, which they'll send you a questionnaire on that. Meg?
If we call in our claim, can we only call in on the day allotted and Friday or any day?
If you call in your claim, you need to be looking at the box. It's online. It'll be on this presentation. This presentation will go on the website. But yes, you need to look at the last digit of your Social Security number and call on those dates. If you call and your day is on a Thursday and it's Monday, the system just kind of hangs up on you, unfortunately. But you can also call, anyone can call on a Friday.
Can an elderly parent that you care for and provide over 50% of their support be claimed as a dependent?
Not that I know of. You could try, but I really think the criterias was something that Meg read. I've never ever heard of someone, considering a parent a dependent.
If we've already received UI during the previous furlough and received direct deposit, will this also get deposited directly? Ooh, lots of D's. Or will you have to specify banking and routing information?
If you are reopening your existing claim, that information should still exist in your claim. I would look at it, verify, make sure nothing has changed. And yes, that will continue with the reopen.
Why do we have to look for work when we have a job to return to?
The requirements of unemployment assistance are able, available, and looking for work. And as I said, you're staying in touch with UMass, you're in touch with the unions, and networking. You are looking for work. You're looking for work within UMass. So the answer to that question is yes.
Did you quit a job discharged? In my case, if I was on furlough and didn't work at all, my answer should be no to offered employment, but yes to discharge because I was on furlough. Is this correct? Thanks.
Absolutely not. Oh, please don't use discharge for anything. Discharge is fired. If Joe or someone with UMass was to eliminate your position, even discharge means you were fired. So you were fired from your position. Any other reason you're going to use laid off. So your position was eliminated, lay off. You're on furlough, laid off. So please use laid off. Do not use discharge. If you use discharge, they want to know why you were discharged. You're gonna get a questionnaire. You're gonna get a red flag on your claim, and it's gonna go into adjudication. Because they are gonna call the employer and say, why did you fire or discharge this person? And of course, UMass is gonna probably say at that point, we did not, they were furloughed. But it's going to cause an issue on your claim, and you don't want that.
If you previously filed a claim in the last 52 weeks but were denied, do you reopen a claim for the new furlough or do you open a new claim?
That's a difficult question because it depends why you were denied. I would probably try to open a new claim, but I'm not sure why you were denied to begin with. Was it an income situation? The one thing to remember about unemployment, it's individualized. So every single claim out there is different. So I would definitely call unemployment and find out why you were denied on the first claim before opening the second claim, because it could be something like you didn't fill out a questionnaire. Okay.
Someone just wants clarification. Is in touch with UMass the same as looking for work?
Yes.
For part-time income, is the total income before tax or after tax?
It's gross income, so it's before. Flip through some of the questions that we had earlier.
Okay, I'm taking my 2 weeks. Oh, we have quite a few questions, Carol, so I'm just making sure that we're not repeating. I am taking my 2 weeks separately, week 1 and week 3 of December. I know I reopened the claim from my June furlough, but do I reopen the claim each time or just reopen once and then request benefits for each week separately?
It depends. You have to look at your claims. So you will, if you're reopening because you were furloughed in June, and you go ahead and you reopen for the first week of, let's say, December, and then you answer the questions for that particular week, and then you have a week in between, I would go back in and see if it says to reopen. It might just say, okay, what's going on here? And they may want you to certify for the week that you worked full-time and then certify for your furlough week.
Could you please explain again how to calculate the benefits for the week furlough? Would there be any additional monies to the benefits this time around?
There's no additional federal monies or grant monies like in June. In June, there was some federal monies, the $600, and then in July, August, there was, I guess it was August, there was an additional $300 that was grant money. Those do not apply right now. There's no extra monies on the table. Does that answer that question, Meg?
Yes, I believe so. Okay. We may have already answered something similar, but I just want to go over again. I received my benefits for my unemployment. This is back in June. Then DUA sent me emails after I received my benefits, but I did not respond to the email. What do I do?
I would go into your portal and try to reopen your claim. You're going to look at your inbox, see what they sent you. If they have sent you information about going to a Career Center seminar or participating, it's usually the same letter, participating in the reemployment program, then I'd advise you to do that because this will follow you. Again, I mentioned, or Meg mentioned, any situation that you had in a previously with unemployment will follow you. So I would definitely see what information is in there, and if the system is going to let you reopen, I would definitely address all questionnaires that are there. If you need to go to a Career Center seminar, everything with the Career Centers are virtual. I would advise you to do it and basically do it and get it off the claim, because once you've completed that, it doesn't come back on that claim, but you do need to complete that. Meg?
If my pay rate has increased since the first furlough, will I be able to request an increase into my benefit rate?
No, unfortunately. You opened your claim in June. That claim with that benefit rate is good for 1 year for 52 weeks. So you wouldn't be able to have those new wages entered into an existing claim. Those would only enter into a new claim. Meg?
What about Social Security benefits? Is that income I should report?
Again, I mentioned pension and I mentioned Social Security. So Social Security retirement does not affect unemployment. They do want that information and they do ask you for that information. So in your initial claim, you should have answered the questions in reference to that, but it should not affect your unemployment.
Okay. I started with UMass on July 1st. I was receiving unemployment from another employer. Do I need to open a new claim or reopen my previous claim?
It depends when you opened your previous claim, but yes, you would probably be opening your claim from the previous employer, or reopening your claim from the previous employer. If the benefit year has expired, then you're going to open a new claim. Okay.
I'm going to sum this one up. Are the steps for a new claim and reopening a claim the same? Meaning, do we request benefits the week after as well?
Yes, that situation is the same. So the process of opening a claim is a little lengthy compared to reopening a claim. Reopening a claim, they already have your name and address and maybe banking information. So all that information is in there. But it's the same where once you're in unemployment, that's when you're going to want to reopen your claim or open a new claim. And then the following week, that's when you'll request your benefits. So that process is exactly the same for all claims. Okay.
What if someone was a full-time employee when they took furlough in June, but now they are retired and working part-time while also receiving a pension? When this person reopens the claim, will they be able to enter the pension information?
What you're going to need to do if pension is new to you, there's a question, did you earn income not previously reported? And you'll say yes to that and enter that information in.
If after the week of furlough, we go in and request benefits, is that all we need to do if this is the last time we need unemployment, or do we tell them we are returning to work?
You can do twofold. You can definitely request your benefits and leave it at that. Again, unemployment assumes that you don't need them any longer when you don't request benefits, or you can go in the following week and state that you have returned to work.
Okay. If you did work part-time for a few months, but it's finished now, do you need to add it?
Say that one more time, Meg.
If you did work part-time for a few months, but now it's completed, do you need to add it to your claim?
Well, if you're reopening a claim and you're currently working part-time, yes. But if you worked part-time for the month of August, then no.
Last time we were told that it didn't matter if we said, no, we didn't look for work. Most people did this and still received benefits. Moving forward, we say, yes, we looked for work. Are we also supposed to list job search activities?
I would say you're looking for work because you are in touch with UMass, and I would put on the job search that you're furloughed, that you're in touch with UMass, you're in touch with the union. I would do that. Things have changed since the beginning of COVID, and they're making it a requirement for folks to look for work again. And we don't know if that's going to be tomorrow or if that's going to be a week from now. They're going to turn the system on or off, however you want to put it. So I would answer that with a yes. And you can write right on the job search, furloughed from UMass, in touch with UMass, in touch with UMass.
Okay, I am taking the week after Thanksgiving as my furlough week. If I use personal time for Friday, what would the start date for unemployment claim or my furlough week be? If I worked Wednesday, Thursday is the holiday, and Friday is the personal day.
You're going to, you can put your last, you want to put your last working day. So if your last working day is that Wednesday, you put that Wednesday. Your start date in that respect would be your June or July date that you went back to work if you're doing a reopen.
When I applied for unemployment in June, I was denied because I had only been at UMass for 2 months and did not meet the threshold for income. Should I reopen the denied claim or open a new claim?
You're going to open a new claim.
And should I still use the June furlough date as my start date?
No, a new claim is a new claim. So you will start, if you started in March, April, May, whenever your start date, you're going to do a brand new claim.
Does unemployment pay holidays?
No, unemployment will not pay for holiday.
Would it cause problems to open a second claim since my first claim in June is held up in the appeals process?
Absolutely. If if you're in the appeals process and you actually, I don't think the system, right, Meg? The system won't let you open another claim.
It shouldn't, no.
Yeah, I don't think it'll even let you open another claim. So you definitely have to take care of past issues.
If I began an additional second job since opening a claim in June, do I need to open a new claim?
No, you're gonna open your existing claim. If you're currently working part-time, again, you're gonna answer the question, did you work and earn income? And you'll say yes, and you'll put the number of hours you work and your gross wages each week. But again, if you worked that job just in the month of August, then they don't need to know that because you're using a previous claim. So you're doing a reopen, so you reopen and just continue answering the questions.
I opened my UI account and went into my inbox. There were documents in there, but it only has issue dates and the action is review. The action due date is blank. Am I okay?
Sounds like you're okay. I would go in there and see if it has a reopen option. That's going to be kind of the key. If the reopen option's there for you to reopen during this furlough. If it's not there, you're going to have to call, or again, just a reminder to everyone, the Franklin Hampshire Career Center has offered assistance. They have navigators that work in all of the career centers, but Franklin Hampshire has reached out and has helped in the past and knows the situation. So you might want to reach out to them as well.
Okay. She does have a reopen option.
Great.
So kind of question regarding that Thanksgiving and personal day. Do we have to tell DUA we are being paid for Thanksgiving and the personal day on Friday?
They are not going to ask. What you're going to do is you're going to state that my last working day was Wednesday, okay? And you're doing it the following week. I'm just going to flip my calendar here. So if your last working day was Wednesday, November 25th, okay? So, and then your start date with your reopen is going to be July, let's say. And then what you'll do, you're going to do that the 29th to the 4th, you'll reopen your claim. And again, you're going to say your last working day was the 25th. And then the week after, which is Sunday the 6th to the 11th, you're going to request your benefits. And remember, you're always requesting your benefits for the previous week. So have it will state whether you do it on the phone or online, you'll see the dates there, but have a calendar near you so you can look at it and it makes it easier. I'm a visual person. I know when I was laid off in my past life, I needed to look at a calendar to do that.
Hey, could I add something there? The intent, I believe, of the university is to save money through having employees go on furlough. So if people choose a 5-day workday, one after another, to go on furlough, I'm not at all clear that the university will allow people to take holiday time or personal time during that furlough period. What I can do is I think that's a sort of major question. We will pose that question and post an answer on our website.
So Joe, in the example that they just gave for Thanksgiving, you're talking about the 27th, which is that Friday, taking personal time?
Or even Thursday, if people have designated that as furlough time, the question I have that I'd like
Oh, I see what you're saying, if that's going to count as furlough.
Right.
Okay.
I'd like to get some clarification from HR.
Sure.
We will get it. We will post it. I want to make sure people get the accurate information what UMass will do in a situation like that.
Sure.
I think we may have covered this, and I think we are starting to get a bit repetitive. So I just want to double check. If a claim was denied within the past 52 weeks, would they reopen the past denied claim, or do they open a new claim?
Again, it depends what the denial is. I would try to reopen that claim, and I'm gonna probably advise you to reach out to unemployment. Or again, you could reach out to the Career Center.
Okay. All right. So I think as far as covering everything that we are able to at this time, we have covered everything. Any further questions, certainly you can direct them to us to email, and we're happy to help. Otherwise, if you have unemployment claims, you can certainly reach out to DUA.
Joe, you're muted.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
So I want to say thanks, Carol, very much. Not only
You're
for
welcome.
that clue, but just in general for all these presentations. Thanks, Megan, the same. Thanks, John Drinkwater, the same. Thanks, Jeff Napolitano, for doing background work. In addition, I'd just like to highlight some people who behind the scenes have been really instrumental in making sure these series of webinars happened. They include Kelly Pleasant and Kevin Kerwood and Helen Bola from HR, Leslie Marsland from USA, Risa Silverman, Brad Turner from PSU. A reminder to check out our website for recordings, for more information, for updated frequently asked questions, including that question regarding holiday time. And while you're on our site, check out our courses. So thanks very much to everybody. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. And there are those addresses that if anybody needs them, they're on the screen right now for our website and for the COVID HR hotline as well.